As one of the most popular animated shows released in recent time, Hazbin Hotel is amazing. Yet it still has some problems, and the biggest one of them is pacing. Pacing might be its biggest problem, while at the same time being one of its best qualities. Since the pacing is so fast, we constantly get new info, and thanks to that we are never bored. But such fast pacing creates many plot holes and a bunch of questions to answer. One of these questions is, how does heaven work? By that I mean, how does someone get into heaven? Since it was established that angels don't know how to get someone into heaven or how they get there. They just know that when someone shows up, he is meant for heaven. The show can go two ways in answering these questions. One where this process is an automated one that no one has control over, and thanks to that method angels will be released from guilt. It won't be their fault if they can't redeem someone. But the second way is having someone control the process. In this situation, that someone will either be an enemy or an ally who can help us with the redemptions. We'll see in future, we don't know right now. The next question is, how does someone redeem a soul? At the end of the season 1, we see that it is indeed possible to redeem a soul. What we don't know is how they did it. It would be pretty crazy if you need to die every time that you want someone to redeem themselves. By that I mean they have to die in a battle or a fight or some other way showing their valor and their worth to get into the heaven. We need to find some other way, more sustainable way for people to go into heaven. This is now just a proof of concept. Now we know it's possible to redeem a soul, we just don't know how to exactly do it. How to do it constantly. That's gonna be probably the biggest challenge next season. Next is Alistair. He himself is just a walking question mark. Like, where did he come from? We know that little story that tells us that he just shows up in hell one day and he's mysteriously super powerful. We don't know where did he get his power from. Was he just naturally that strong? We don't know what kind of a deal he made and with whom. The ending song shows him lamenting his actions during the fight as being something he would not normally do. Saying that's not something he would normally do. Like maybe protecting the hotel, or Charlie was part of this contract. We don't know that, but I can't wait to find out. Next thing I'm curious about is who's above seraphims, or are they on the top of the heaven hierarchy? It's kind of weird for me to see seraphims making all the decisions for heaven. Like, where are all the high-ranking angels that were on par with Lucifer? I doubt that they are unaware of the extermination like other souls in heaven. I think that mortally born souls probably like 99% don't know anything, but souls above seraphims should definitely be informed about what is happening. Next thing I'm curious about is Adam himself. Why would he be put in charge of extermination? No matter how special he is, being the first human soul that got into heaven, he was still just a human soul. Why was he put in charge of extermination in the first place? Honestly, he's a pretty tragic character for me. Someone who was called a winner by everyone around him, while all he ever experienced is loss. He lost his 2 wives and still went to heaven, where he clearly feels like he doesn't belong. Maybe he felt like he belongs there at the beginning, but right now I think he honestly belongs in hell way more than he ever did in heaven. We can see that by how people react to him just being himself. Anytime he shows his emotions or gets slightly excited, at which point he starts slipping and cursing and all that, all the angels or whoever was there next to him looks at him weirdly like, what's wrong with you, bro? And I bet this is something that's on his mind all the time. Imagine being in heaven and not feeling safe, not feeling welcome at all, feeling like you're the odd one out. And if you think about it, the exterminating human souls for God knows how long. Somewhere I've seen 10,000 years, some theorized maybe it's just 7 years, but I think it's like a really long time. Just doing that for so long is bound to mess anyone up, especially a human soul. He might tell us he's special, but he's still just a human who's been killing for hundreds, possibly thousands of years. Him and the entire extermination army is probably so messed up thanks to just this act of killing. I can't imagine going through all that slaughter and coming out on the other hand being a normal person. We can see this in some small facts, like he never takes off his armor. The only time we see him without his armor, or at least we see his face, is at the end of it when he is losing and he's getting beaten up. So that means he was wearing the armor, even though he really only needs it one day of a year during the extermination. Any other time it's really unnecessary, but he is even wearing it in heaven, which tells me that he doesn't really trust anyone, not even the people living in heaven anymore. So if you can't even trust heavenly people, the winners, who can you trust? At this point he was probably feeling super lost. That's why I like that he smiled at the end of it all. If he dies, I hope he doesn't. I hope he comes back as a demon, but we'll see. I like that he smiled at the end because someone cared about him. Honestly, I think that's the reason why everyone kind of wants him to come back. We want to see more of him. All the questions like, was he like this the whole time? Did something change him? What's his relationship with Eve? Where are his kids? So many things. Honestly, at the end of the day, even Lucifer had a better life than him. I mean, he was sent to heaven where he is all alone, leading an army, while Lucifer is in hell, having a family, a wife and a child. Maybe he's divorced now, but before that he was happily married for thousands of years. That must be pretty aggravating. And on top of all of that, at the end he gets killed as a joke. So that was pretty bad. I mean, I don't know. I just hope he comes back. If he doesn't, too bad. Him dying kind of goes against the main point of the show, which is redemption. Since now we know that it's possible to redeem a soul, I think we should also see the other way around. Just like the song says, if hell is forever, that means heaven is a lie, since angels can never change and go bad. But we can clearly see that Adam changed and that he went bad. So if we can see someone becoming a better person and going into heaven, we should also be able to see someone becoming a worse person and going down into hell to repent or just suffer a punishment. Because at the end of the day, Adam is a bad person. He did horrible things. I like him as a character, but I don't think he deserves being in heaven or becoming some kind of a hero for heaven. Like, oh, look at this, they killed our top guy, they killed one of our guys, and now we have a legitimate reason to go and murder everyone. If he becomes a demon, then they will be like, oh shit, the guy that we backed the whole time was so bad he turned into a demon. I think that just works way better. In the end, all these questions and what will happen and all that, these are all positive things. The more questions we have, the more speculations we can make, and honestly that's just fun. I really can't say enough good things about this show. Animation is amazing, music is even better, and honestly I can't wait for season 2. It can't come soon enough. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. If you have any comments, leave them down below, and bye.